Testing, testing. One, two, three. Carl Launch for the Sports Hit List. I think we are live. I'm not sure, but I believe we are. Testing, testing. One, two, three. Carl Launch for the Sports Hit List by the fans of other fans. We're just coming off the Money in the Bank pay per view. I'm just going to share this show with everyone who's out there. Thank you for anyone who's out there joining us late, just getting off the pay per view. It was a wonderful show. I'm going to let my guys come in first before I start giving some grades. But what a show. Honestly, what a show. I'm a little speechless right now. Just, still processing what we just saw. Clint, you're right.
Oh my gosh. I just freaked out. I was not expecting Cena for like another week or two.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we just coming off the pay-per-view.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Clint, what are your overall thoughts? Do you have a grade for us yet, or do you want to just break it down what you saw?
Man, overall, I think it was solid, especially the first one. Having people back was great. Overall, I'd say, B plus.
Yeah, B plus. Okay. Mike, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would give it a B plus as well.
Because why? What was it missing for the A?
I mean, it's just the missing A is the fact that Charlotte won.
Dude, for real. Oh my gosh.
Why
oh my gosh.
You just put over Rhea once.
You're my wife in the background. Just
what's her grade? Can we ask her grade?
No, you can't, because she's just gonna be a jerk. What's your grade on it, babe? What do you grade the pay-per-view? For real, don't be a jerk. Oh my God.
What did she say?
A waste of life. She's just saying that she's just saying that to say it.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God. She did when Cena came out though. She went and got her recorder and started playing his theme song on the recorder though, bro. She busted out of the hallway and just grabbed it and started playing her recorder. It was great. It was hilarious.
Listen. This is what I'll say. First and foremost, I will say this. Grade comes down to a B. Peacock, get your shit together. And dude, I'm being listen, and I'm being very transparent right now. And I'm sorry for the cursing, and I don't normally do it, but praise Lord Jesus, we didn't miss the Money in the Bank men's match, because everyone on my news feed, everyone in my group chats, we're all watching together. We're watching a show, and during the entrances, Peacock starts to mess up. So all I'm saying is just get it right. Get it right. You got a whole month for pay-per-views. Get your shit together. It is completely, absolutely absurd during the middle of a pay-per-view match. We're watching, and you start clinking up. That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if it's because there's too many people on. I don't know if there's nothing. I don't know what the issue is, but get it together. That's for me the reason why it gets knocked down to a B, because a lot of people who are on there were watching it. They were pretty hyped to watch the show, and all of a sudden we don't know if we're going to see the end of the show, to the point where some fans are like, you know what, they can't even tolerate it. They're going to watch it in the morning. So for me, that's why it gets downgraded to a B. I would have given it the A, but Peacock messing up and me having to restart my shit knocks the grade down.
It's been 6 months.
It's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Not really 6 months, because I mean, almost they were still doing pay-per-views.
Right.
Doing
them. But that was my little rant on that. I just had to make that clear. Aside from that, Cena coming out at the end, I thought was great. Overall, aside from the Peacock mess up, overall, I thought it was a great pay-per-view. And Mike's right about the Charlotte booking, which I didn't see coming either. I don't know how many times Charlotte has to get the championship. I think that was probably the thing I didn't see coming. The Usos winning the tag team championships. People are upset that Jimmy didn't get punished. But from my readings is that they don't want to mess up the storyline. It's a great storyline, and they don't want to risk it. And there's a big payoff with The Rock coming in at some point, whether it's next year at WrestleMania, and they don't want to jeopardize that by punishing him. So they're going to continue the storyline.
Money talks, baby. Money talks.
Money talks, absolutely. But overall, I thought the pay-per-view was, and it's pretty much what we discussed. Everything we discussed kind of fall in line except for Charlotte. That was the only monkey in the wrench, I would say, right?
What? Are you crazy? What about Nikki Cross?
You're right.
Everything went to plan. What?
Yeah, no, you're right. All right. Two. Okay. So the women. My mistake. So the women. So two. So two mishaps.
No, it wasn't a mishap. I love
two things we didn't predict.
love it.
Why do you love it?
Because it's something fresh. It's something new. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with it or where they're going to run with it, but I love the idea of it, though. just because it's somebody fresh and different. It's a new face.
Right, but I mean, someone would say, Mike, this is kind of like the Otis thing that happened last year. Would you say that? Is that safe to say?
Well, quick question. I think Clinton and I tied with this. Nobody had a clean sweep because, let's face it, nobody saw that Nikki Cross thing happen.
No. Nobody saw that coming. But I personally like the way it happened because everyone is fight. Listen, the way it happened was everyone was at the top of the ladder. Dugan, she just climbed up and just got it and just walked out. Like, all right, here I am.
Here I am.
Yeah. So I thought it was very strategic the way she did it, and I didn't see it coming. So that was a surprise. I hope there's actually something there and she doesn't just waste it and she loses it eventually to someone, but I hope she has a successful cash in.
For the record, I also did not get to see that part because Peacock.
Oh, you see there? Then there it is. Like, come on, man. Get it together. What?
She's not Otis. She's not the Otis version. She's not mumbling her words. She's actually cutting promos. She's not doing the worm. I mean, the gimmick, it's not a bad thing. Like, people keep complaining. The Hurricane was pretty successful, so I don't see why
she earned it too. I mean, she earned it. You could argue that Otis had Mandy Rose to help him, get up there. No, she's doing all this junk by herself. I mean, she doesn't have anybody. She had Alexa Bliss that obviously got her to some point, but I mean, the superhero character, she's taken off with that and doing it all by herself. So kudos to her. And people were mad about it, like, oh, her gimmick and this and that. Who cares about her gimmick? Have that gimmick or get released. And you know what? She's running with the gimmick, and good for her. I'm glad they rewarded her. I really am.
Speaking of which, look at how they treated Alexa. Alexa's like Brock Lesnar all of a sudden. They all had to throw ladders on her.
Love it.
Well, I mean, at some point they had to kind of get rid of everything that she would like. They wanted to basically. I thought she was going to rise from the ashes with that. That's what I thought was going to happen. She was going to just rise and appear at the top of the ladder and climb it anyway. That was my initial thought when I saw them stacking the ladders on her. That's what I thought.
Match of the night, the tag match. Yes, the men's Money in the Bank obviously
is
the best. The men's, the Raw tag match.
Okay, the Raw
besides
tag match.
Obviously the men's Money in the Bank match. I mean, those spots, Ricochet, Kevin Owens, those guys. But I mean, the Viking Raiders and AJ and Omos, man, put on a show. That was a great match.
They did. No,
especially for three very large human beings to do that good of a match. I mean, I thought all across the board the matches were solid A's. I didn't think there was a match that was. I mean, clearly the Bobby Lashley dominant match just trying to reinforce that Bobby Lashley was back and he stopped, fooling around with MVP. So that one you kind of knew where they were going with that. So overall, I thought all the matches were pretty solid. The ending match was great. And the fact, again, to put the icing on the cake, I thought clearly we knew Cena was going to be in the title picture at some point. I thought that was kind of a moment for the fans out there to kind of see like, wow, like we haven't seen Cena in the stands since I think he was on SmackDown against Bray Wyatt before COVID hit. Was the last time fans actually saw Cena. Because
that was
the last time
he was going to face him. Yeah,
he was going to face him
right before WrestleMania, and then
right before Mania in 2020, and then COVID hit. So I think that was a moment for the fans there to actually see Cena and get in that moment there.
Well, and they're trying to draw viewers in for SummerSlam too. And the bad thing is, like, you bring Cena in, like that's a serious draw. You bring Goldberg in, and we're all pissed off. It's like you're almost contradicting yourself. You take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back.
Yeah, listen,
like the match. No, like Kofi put on a better match with Lashley tonight and did 3 moves of offense, maybe 4 moves of offense, than Goldberg's going to do in a 10 or 15 minute match with his offense. I don't care what anybody says. Kofi put on a better performance than what Goldberg will if he comes back tomorrow night and they face each other at SummerSlam.
The match won't even be that long.
No, it won't. It'll be quick. It'll be spear.
But congratulations to Big E, guys. I got some people waiting in the waiting room. Real quick.
You're good.
Early predictions for how Big E cashes in. Is it too early? Do you want me guys to let you process that before I start asking those questions?
You know what? I think he's gonna wait long. Yeah, because
he has a year.
I take a look at Cena and Roman. He's like, okay, nobody can beat me. I'm unstoppable. So Cena comes in. Cena's like, I'm the veteran. Maybe I can stop you.
So it's definitely going to be Roman.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Roman. So Cena's going to be like, hey, listen, I'm the guy that could stop you. And then he's probably not going to stop him. He's going to continue and continue. Big E is I'm pretty sure what TK said, Big E is going to be at WrestleMania. He's going to cash it in before then.
He's going to catch them before WrestleMania. So that means Roman would drop the title, so he wouldn't have the pressure to face The Rock for the championship. If anything, he'll just face.
No. I'm sorry. He will face. They will face each other at Mania. It's just The Rock is too booked. I can't see The Rock being at Mania.
Okay, Clint, how does Big E
I'm gonna say he jumps back to Raw with the New Day. They need the star power over there. I know he's on SmackDown right now. I think he has a pretty significant hold of the briefcase, though. I don't see Lashley dropping it anytime soon. I would say maybe Royal Rumble time right in there.
Okay.
And then, he wins it, and then they have another rematch at Mania. Maybe Brock's back in the picture, and then you have the 3 heavy hitters. But I don't think it's anytime soon, especially if he's going to have a wash match with Goldberg at SummerSlam. So we'll kind of see.
One last
I think he
question.
Jumps back to Raw.
Yeah.
So
one last question. Who drops their title first? Roman or Bobby?
Lashley. 100%.
Lashley. Mike?
Man, that's a tough one.
Who drops that title first?
You know what? It's Roman's the face of the company, so by default, it's Bobby.
Okay.
Well, and I mean, Roman's got the Usos with him too. I mean, anything else, they're gonna have disqualifications. It's gonna be a lot of tainted matches. Lashley doesn't have that. He doesn't have Benjamin or Alexander anymore. So I personally think it's gonna be Lashley over Roman for sure. So,
guys, thank you so much for joining us here on the pre-show and the post-show for Money in the Bank. We'll be talking about what's coming up next. I believe I may have a off the top rope tomorrow night to preview Raw. I'll let you guys know. And look out for more wrestling content from these guys. You guys take care. I'm going to bring in some of my other contributors. You guys continue watching. You're watching the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. We have Matt from the Geek Nation, TK the Tank, Tom Kenny's joining us, and Randy from the Backstage Brawl. Matt, I got somebody in the comments saying to let you in before you have an aneurysm. I don't know what's going on there. I think that's Boogie Morrell said that I got to let you in. Are you all right? Are you happy, sad?
No, man. I wanted you to let me in earlier, so I wanted to cut a promo on Mike's hair. Like, what was going on with Mike's hair?
Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I didn't see if you sent the message. I was trying to get the show up.
It's all good.
But I already went on my rant about Peacock. They knocked my grade down. The other guys gave a B+. I gave it a B. I put my professor hat here. Peacock completely ruined it. Like, I'm literally yelling at my wife sitting next to me, and she's just looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Poor woman. Why you do that to that poor woman?
Because I'm sitting here like, I didn't pay for this shit. I was really pissed off. Like, yeah, no idea. I'm like, yo, please don't make me, like, out of all the times for this shit to go wrong, we watched everything. It didn't go wrong with the tag match, the women's match, nothing. And then the minute the entrances start for the Money in the Bank, you start acting a fool. Like, come on, are you kidding me? Like, you can't make this shit up as a fan.
That's why I have a backup. I was watching on Peacock, and then it started messing up, so I pulled my legal stream, and I watched it just fine from that.
Same here. So, you know what? I'm not one to go on that route because I like to do my things the right way. But I may have to contact you and find out that stream because I was really in my feelings about this.
I tried to do it the right way. I tried to go clean, but they made me go the heel route. That's not my fault.
But okay, overall, great. Go ahead, Randy. What's up?
You're cheap like me, so we gotta find any means necessary.
No, for sure. But I actually pay for my Peacock. Yeah, I pay for it. I don't have a problem. But you charging me premium prices at $4.99 and you giving me bad service. What kind of shit is that? Like, come on, man. I'm not paying for it. Like, yeah, you may think $4.99 is nothing, but it's coming out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I only use it for 1 month. And the one time I'm using it and you're alive and you can't get your shit right, come on, man. Do better. Be better.
No, good.
And, TK, a grade for the pay-per-view.
I mean, I'm jumping right on the B+ train. I thought I had a lot of fun watching the pay-per-view. I thought all the matches pretty much delivered. The ending was great. Cena coming out was awesome. Seeing Big E win the Money in the Bank was awesome. I loved seeing Nikki win. I started rooting for Nikki. I didn't think she was going to win, but I just started rooting for her, and I was happy when she did win. A lot of cool moments. The Drip Kings. Johnny and Seth getting together for a little bit was cool. But yeah, I mean, one of the biggest stories tonight was Peacock. It was terrible. I actually just walked outside because I was so mad. Because it's like Money in the Bank, men's Money in the Bank. This is what I'm really excited to see, and it's not working. And just like you, Carl, I pay $4.99. I come on once a month. Once a month I go on Peacock to watch WWE because I can't even watch the old stuff anymore because if I fast forward a little bit, commercial. So yeah. I hate Peacock. I can't go on enough about it. But good pay-per-view.
Well, one thing I will say though, something that's on right now, season 2 of Ruthless Aggression, which as much as I hate Peacock, I have to catch that because the season 1 was excellent. Matt, what is your grade for the pay-per-view?
My grade is also a B+. Unlike TK, I did not like hearing John Cena's music. You can't see him. You can't see him anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Wait a minute. Not a little bit. You got a little bit excited just to see just a little bit. I can't stand John Cena, and him coming out was pointless. He said nothing. It did nothing. No promo. I know why he no challenge. That was pointless. He didn't need to say anything. He looked at the championship. That was enough for you to know what he was doing.
That's not enough.
Oh, come on.
Especially because it's gonna be a one-off. So
now you're nitpicking. The reason why he came out again, the way I assessed it is it was for the fans in attendance. Fans haven't seen John Cena since he came out against Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt looked behind him. Had their whole stupid match at WrestleMania.
Yes, the Firefly Funhouse match.
Terrible. So yes. I think it was a moment for the fans there to actually see, like, wow, Cena's back. The little kids went nuts. You know what I'm saying? He looks nice with a fresh new T-shirt and a fresh new haircut.
So if he doesn't, say anything, if he doesn't say anything, we don't know if he's challenging for the title.
Come on, man.
And if he's not going to challenge for the title,
don't do that. Why are you doing that?
Then there's no point of having him out there.
Don't do that. Come on, be better. Do better. No. Come on, I'm going to start to you like Peacock. Come on. He looked at the title. Roman had the titles there. He looked at it, and then he just walked away. You knew what he was doing.
You can't see it. He threw down the gauntlet.
Yeah, don't do that. Come on, bro. Come on. Why are you doing that for? Because you don't like him?
That's his bad storytelling. The women's Money in the Bank match could have been better.
Wait a minute. Time out. No, wait. I'm not going to let you slide with that. So when they point to the WrestleMania side, is that not the same shit? They don't even say anything. They just point to it. You know what they mean? He did the same thing.
No. Because I ripped when Ronda showed up and said nothing and did nothing but walk in there, look at the women and smile and then point at the sign. I was like, this is stupid. That was dumb.
But we know what that means. Like, there's nothing like you. That
doesn't keep it from being dumb.
You don't need verbal communication. That's non-verbal communication. Do I have to go back to the class? That's non-verbal. You know what it means. He doesn't need to say anything.
It was dumb.
Now you're being a hater, Randy. What are your thoughts, man? You're being a straight up hater.
I am a Cena hater. The women's match could have been better. The finish was surprising. The women, the Money in the Bank. The finish was surprising, a little cheesy, but I liked it that it was cheesy because Nikki's character is currently cheesy, so her winning cheesy is fun, and I think it's dope that they gave it to her. So I was glad to take the L on my prediction with that one, and. The Charlotte and Reyes match. I want to talk about that because it was a good match, a solid match, but the crowd was not into that match.
It doesn't seem the crowd's really too much into Ripley. I think I don't know. It didn't seem like
they're not.
Either. Not. And I mean, there was that not being a DQ, stamping your foot against steel steps
three times too.
I don't know how that's not a DQ. That was like WCW 2000 to me. That was just not good. But yeah, it didn't seem like they were into that at all, honestly.
And I think they were pumping crowd noise in because you kept on hearing chants and cheers and stuff, and the crowd wasn't doing anything. They weren't moving. I was like, this don't look genuine. And I feel bad for both of them because they worked a good match.
Yeah.
Just Ray is not over, and people are tired of seeing Charlotte always with the belt.
And it was almost like a heel versus heel storyline leading up to it.
Yes, it
was. The build was terrible. Yeah, it was absolutely terrible in there. So we got 2 B pluses. Randy, what's your grade?
No, I give it a B+ too. I definitely enjoyed the entire show outside the Peacock BS. From top to bottom, Money in the Bank never really disappoints in terms of a pay-per-view event, so they always deliver. I felt like Charlotte and Ray was actually the match of the night because that kind of actually woke me up a little bit in terms of how they were interacting.
Listen,
despite the crowd.
Was that Raw tag match was pretty solid too, though.
It was solid, but in terms of a one-on-one match, like that was probably like the best match I've seen tonight. Even though the crowd was kind of wonky on it, the females made it, to the possible to kind of just put up a great effort, and Charlotte worked that crowd lovely. And as much as people have shit to say to Charlotte, she's literally the best on that roster, period. And the fact that she's champion speaks to it. Like, you can't really deny it. Even if it's the break glass if necessary, she's the best female on that roster. So
no, I agree. And
she's up. I mean, the only argument you could really have is maybe Asuka, but that's about it. Like, there's
Asuka you could argue.
outside of Asuka. Outside of Asuka, she's the best. I mean,
right, but just because she's the best doesn't mean just because she's the best doesn't mean we need to see her have the championship again. And I saw people in the comments kind of like, well, that's kind of setting up for Becky. How many more times do we need to see Becky versus Charlotte? Like, I get it. I get the legacy. I get the whole beef. I get the whole story and how they have. It's kind of like
what
that
else?
Kevin
But what
Owens
else are you gonna do? Like, I'm not a fan of it, but it's like there's like nothing else to do because Rhea Ripley versus Becky's not going to sell. Liv Morgan versus Becky's not going to sell. The only matchup they have that would work is Charlotte because of the history. You could go with Asuka, but even that matchup doesn't have the same heat behind it. It's the only option.
They booked themselves into a corner when it comes to their females.
Absolutely.
And also with Asuka, I mean, her and Becky ended off on good terms with Becky giving her the title. So for Becky to come back and feud with her would be a little awkward, I think.
The only other thing is possibly Ronda coming back. Maybe coming back. And
no, she just had that baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or is still pregnant.
I think Ronda's done.
You think Ronda's completely done with WWE?
I think she's done.
Okay. Well, you see, I don't follow this. I wouldn't know if she was pregnant.
Well, no, I don't. I don't follow the dirt sheets either. It's just my kind of feeling and opinion on it.
No, I follow her on IG, and I think she's like 6 months pregnant.
Okay, so let me say this: how does Nikki cash in? Is it a failed attempt, or is she successfully cash in?
No, she'll be successful. I think.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a January thing.
Well, keep in mind though, she did beat Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, so she do have those 2 wins against them. So that could kind of play into her favor heading into her cashing in successfully, possibly on Charlotte. So you don't know.
I think WWE needs to have a string of successful cash-ins after all the failed cash-ins of the late, 2010s because
they have with the women. The women have never failed to not cash in and win.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think, unfortunately, I think Nikki will be the first to not successfully cash in, and I don't want that for her. But I think because they made a point of that. Like McAfee said it like 4 times that whoever wins always 100% cashes in and wins.
Yeah. So special shout out to Rick. He just said in the comments, he said, WWE has to stop sabotaging their own product. Having Becky post on social media that she was in the building is the reason why the crowd wasn't into the Rhea Ripley match.
And they were chanting. You heard the Becky chants, right?
I did hear the Becky chants, yeah.
Because again, the rumors were swirling that she was ready to go tonight, and that's what I thought was going to be that surprise moment, but clearly it was Cena's, so
I thought Cena, so I thought they were gonna hold off on Becky, but also thinking just about the way the matches were laid out, I think that if Charlotte and Ripley maybe led off the pay-per-view instead, I think that could have been better. It was a hard-hitting match. I felt like the women's Money in the Bank, I know Matt, you said it was not your favorite match on the card. I felt like it wasn't as hard-hitting usually as Money in the Bank is. I felt like they held back a little bit. The spot with Liv,
the competitors,
the ladder with Natalya for like a minute just didn't work.
That was stupid. Well, look at who they had. You have Liv Morgan, who physically she's not very strong. She can't do much. She's very small. She's petite compared to very petite women. Same with Zelina Vega. So 2 of them really can't do much. Naomi, I love, but she's all athleticism. She doesn't do moves. She's all athletic. She's high spots. Yep. Then you had Tamina and Natty carrying the load there.
Yeah, Natty was dressed like Kane. She was playing the Kane role.
They carried that match.
They sure did. Yeah, they're the real MVPs of that match. Tamina and Natty.
But again, so we're all in agreement that Nikki will successfully cash in at some point.
Yeah, I hope so.
Definitely.
Okay, moving along to Big E. Here's my first question: how does he cash in, and is it successful?
I don't know. Crickets. Big E's a very big question.
Crickets.
It's tough, Carl, because
I'm thinking
it's too early against Lashley because of what Lashley has done to Kofi and to Xavier, and they need a reunion on Raw. They need the star power back on Raw, like Clint was saying. But I don't want to see Bobby drop the strap.
I don't think he won't, because because that last ditch effort for him versus Brock has to be WrestleMania at that point. So the best filler you can have is probably put Big E.
There's no guarantee to that Brock though. Brock's not under contract, so there's no guarantity to having Brock come.
There's a lot of time between now and April. So
fair. TK, how does Big E cash?
I really is hard to. It's weird to think about for me too, because they just really rebuilt Bobby into a machine. And it makes sense with New Day kind of falling to Bobby now. Biggie would be the next guy, and you have the draft soon. You can bring them back together. But I really wanted him to cash in on Roman after maybe Roman beats Brock next year. But it's really up in the air. He really could do anything, because the thing they did was they made a point saying you could cash in on either champion, where I believe in the past they said only on his shows, his branch champion.
Right, but because the draft is looming, they're having a fall draft this year. They're not keeping it in the spring. That kind of makes you question.
I feel like they're leaving it up there where they could use him against Bobby Lashley, but I'd really rather, my call was him versus Roman at WrestleMania. So even if Roman faces Rock at WrestleMania, I'd rather Big E cash in and ask for a match, not even cash in after a match. And
a lot of scenarios, you know what? There's a lot of scenarios with the way Big E, like what you guys said makes sense. Him versus Bobby would be great. But then, you know, who does Roman, would Roman go and face The Rock? Or he just drops the title to Big E before WrestleMania and still faces The Rock at WrestleMania, just not for the championship.
Yeah, because you don't need the title to sell that match.
What,
yeah, Roman versus Rock, you don't need the title.
Oh no, the best way to sell that is the head of the table.
It's the bloodline. Yeah,
that's 100% right. That's 100% right. So we could definitely see.
You don't need the title to sell that match.
Before then, that would be great.
Right, so that means he'd have to drop it to him either at Rumble, because if you look at the lines of pay-per-views, you got SummerSlam Clash of Champions. I don't know what's going to be October now because Hell in a Cell got moved. Survivor Series, TLC, Rumble, I think Fastlane or Elimination Chamber, and then Mania. So he'd have to either drop it at Rumble
or Survivor Series, because I mean, if they're doing champion, Bobby Lashley's a big guy. He could really beat up on Roman, you know.
Right. Or the other thing too is his cash in could either be at surprise, or he could say, "Listen, I'm cashing it in as a match," and he knows this is what match he's cashing.
How cool would it be? Just throwing it out there. Survivor Series, it's Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns, and Big E makes it a triple threat match, and all the titles are on the line.
Well, I think that might happen, because I don't know if you saw on Instagram, but Heyman posted on Instagram about Roman. And MVP commented about Bobby, and Heyman's like, your guy's not as good, but maybe we'll see in the ring. And MVP's like, yeah, maybe we'll see. So they're lengths of potential.
Well, listen, I would love to see. Listen, at Survivor Series for not for the title of Roman versus Bobby, that would be pretty dope. And then if anything, if
you see champion versus champion non-title match. And then after that, Big E shows up and cashes in on one of the two.
Yeah,
that would be really dope.
That would be dope. But again, we're talking WWE here. How well do they think to give us something that's dope? They don't. Not often. That's not gonna. Like,
they don't think that much.
They don't think that much. Let me ask this though: out of the two, Roman and Bobby, who drops their championship first?
It's gonna be
Bobby.
Bobby, yeah. Everyone's saying Bobby, right?
The loyalty to Bobby isn't there. I'm still reeling for the fact that they put the title on him. I am. I'm just so glad that they actually.
It was well deserved. Yeah, it was well
17 years too late, but hey, at least they finally did it. But it's gonna be Bobby. And while we're talking Big E, shout out to Kofi for selling the heck out of that match.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
what a job Kofi Kingston did.
Well, I mean, listen, he's done it. It's not the first time. He did it to Brock in 3 seconds, which I'm still not over.
But at least they let him
take the this one had a little bit more reasoning behind it. Like if Kobe needed to be squashed, this was a match for it. And
this was close. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, TK.
I was saying this was closer to like Brock Lesnar, Cena in 2014, or even Kobe.
He had like 12 suplexes, right? Was that the 12 suplex match?
Yeah. Well, he just suplexed the mess out of. I love that match. That's one.
That's a great.
I'm sure it is. Or let me ask you: did you like when Stone Cold got run over by the car in 1999 better or no?
It was me behind it. I did it for The Rock.
You did.
I did it for the people. Rikishi took the blame, but that was me, baby.
I did it, Rock. I did it. That was great. That's good classic stuff. Listen, guys, a lot to look forward to heading into SummerSlam. We kind of know what some of the matches are already. You know, Edge versus Seth, we see that clearly is going to be it. Cena versus Roman is clearly going to be it. Bobby versus Goldberg is probably a main event there. I'm curious to see who's going to fight Bianca Belair. Is Sasha Banks going to come back? Is it going to be Becky Lynch? Who's Charlotte going to fight for the World Women's Championship? So those are some things that are kind of up in the air there as well. We also have some of the mid-card championships we didn't see tonight. So Apollo Crews not really in the storyline yet. I kind of see Sheamus feuding with who's that guy?
Alberto Correa?
No, the other guy. The other
Ricochet?
No, the other Latino. What's his name? Gosh, he just got called up. He was with the match. What's his name?
Not Legato there. Oh, you're talking about
tip of my tongue. Help me out here, guys.
Damian Priest?
Yes, thank you. There we go. Yeah. So he's gonna feud with him for the US Championship. I kind of see that looming because he came out to help Humberto Carrillo. So I could see a match there for SummerSlam. So the card for SummerSlam I already have like lined out just by basing off what we see going on and what's gonna like lead up to certain things. You can kind of point out what the card for SummerSlam is gonna look like.
A great SummerSlam match also could be Cesaro versus Apollo for that Intercontinental title. I'd like to see that. That's
a fact, but Carl, I know you don't do ifs, but if Goldberg would get an injury and somehow keep.
I don't wish that on nobody, man. Come on, I don't go that far. I mean, I know where you're going.
I'm a big time hater, and I don't wish injuries on. I don't wish injury on Cena. I never wish injury on Austin.
Just Goldberg. Like if he got up in the morning and he just so happened he got a hernia.
You know what? You just want him to be stiff, too stiff to work.
Yeah,
I want to be hurt. He's just too stiff.
Oh, you asked Bret Hart. Goldberg's pretty stiff.
Oh yeah, we know.
Yeah. Oh, we do know. Yeah, after that whole.
Just so I can get Keith Lee to come back since Brock ain't gonna do it and face Bobby.
Who knows what's going on with the Keith Lee situation?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with that.
Oh, someone's in the comments talking about burn the shirt bully season. I already addressed you. I already said what I need to say. I don't need to talk to you right now. Don't kill my wrestling vibe. Let's not do that right now. But yeah, like I said, guys, before, I think the storylines are pretty much set heading into SummerSlam. We got like 4 weeks left, so
we're gonna have a return match between the Mysterios and the Usos.
Yeah, I was surprised we won the titles on the kickoff.
That was one of the predictions we got wrong.
I wasn't surprised. Listen, everyone was like, well, Jimmy wasn't punished. Why did you think he was going to get punished now? They didn't punish him. He's been out it's been 2 weeks since his DWI. Why do you think they wouldn't punish him now? They weren't going to punish him.
They're not screwing this thing up for Roman right now. So
I read it, and I went back and I read it because somebody got offended. They're like, oh, this is the place where you can get a DWI and still keep your job and get rewarded. And I read it. They don't want to jeopardize because they have plans for The Rock and the family legacy. They don't want to jeopardize that. So basically, by default, Jimmy gets a pass. It's by default he got the pass.
There's too much money and too much story.
Yeah, there's too much story invested in the Usos and the legacy for anything like that to even happen. So
sometimes they're not going to throw that away. Pragmatic.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me here on the Sports Hit List post show for Money in the Bank. Our first show did about 700 to 800 views. So that was excellent. I'm curious to see what this one does, but great show to show that pro wrestling definitely does help carry the Sports Hit List load. So I'll talk to you guys soon. I should have an episode of Off the Top Rope tomorrow, I believe, and then if not, we'll see how the booking goes and we'll keep track. And thank you guys for tuning in.
The work never stops.
Production never sleeps. We know what it is. Exactly. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, no problem. Have a good one.
All right. Carl Coulange for the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans as we continue to wrap up this post show of Money in the Bank. Thank you to all who joined us. I see somebody's in the comments talking about bully season and talking about burn the shirt. Get out of here. You're just mad because I called you out for who you really are. So it's true. I don't have anything else left to say to you. I'm waiting for whatever you're going to say right back to me. But I will end it. So just keep that in mind. Whatever you're going to say or whatever you're going to come up with, I will end it. That's all you have to know. And that's all the fans have to know out there. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. A reminder, Smoke and Mirrors is on vacation for the next 2 weeks, so that won't happen tomorrow. My regular Wednesday show with regular sports will be here. Tuesday night, there should be a post game for Game 6, I believe. We have Milwaukee versus the Suns for Game 6. The Suns are on the ropes. They got one chance to make a comeback here and push a game and force a Game 7. What do they have left in the tank? And then Thursday, we have my wife's show, The B Show, to finish out the week for Sports Hit List content. Again, thank you to everyone who pulls up, who subscribes to all of our content, who watches us. Thank you for joining us here for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. A great pay-per-view. Peacock, get your act together. That can't happen no more, especially during a pay-per-view like that and during a prime match like that. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be receiving a phone call from Vince or somewhere from his offices, because that just can't happen. And I can't emphasize that enough. That can't happen. I thought it was just me. But when you go into the comments and you see it's happening to everybody, you need to get your shit together, because it's not the first pay-per-view it's happened to. It keeps happening in pay-per-views. You need to get your bandwidth. You need to get your team together. Whoever's your IT, fire them, bring in a new team, because this never happened on the WWE network. never happened on the WWE network. So it can't be happening to you guys. You guys are basically lowering your standards and you're pissing people off because you made the entire move. Nobody liked it. And now you have the chance to show us what you can do and you're not doing it right. So it's wrong for you to be stealing our money like that and not providing us with good quality content, especially when there's a match that's happening. You guys take care. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to All Sports Hit List content. Have a good night.